Hey, what's up guys? So we're here to showcase off the new Demon Hunter build, which is going to be a rapid fire grenade build going into Season 17. Now, the PTR is not live at the moment, however, the patch notes have gone through, so we're here to go ahead and check them out. So, just as a heads up, these are the new changes with Demon Hunter, but there's a lot of other changes that we'll be going over as well. But I want to go over the Demon Hunter because this is basically the new build that people will be trying out. So basically, they buffed Sin Seekers as well as the Wojanni or Wojanni Assaulter, which is just going to increase your rapid fire damage. So going over the notes over here, Sin Seekers now adds 250% to 300% damage to rapid fire. And the Wojanni Assaulter, rapid fire deals, instead of 60 to 75, it's going to deal 75 to 100% increased damage for every half second that you channel, and it stacks up to 30 times. It has a 4, but it's crossed out. This one's kind of hard to see. But basically, they've just multiplied that times a lot, and on top of that, you're just getting additional damage to rapid fire. And then, in addition to that, the stacks gained from Wojanni Assaulter now also stack much more quickly. So basically that's the change with Demon Hunter. You're going to be looking forward to, of course, grabbing the weapon itself, the Wojanni Assaulter, and then in addition to that, things that can also be really great for this build, which we actually have, which is the Mantle of Channeling, and then you also want the Hellcat Waistguard to proc the extra damage. And then obviously with Sin Seekers, it already has this, which is the rapid fire no longer has a channel cost, but basically the first shot that you deal will actually have a cost, but then after that it's free. So basically, if you're going to be sitting still, you're not going to have to spend any resource. That's the new build with, of course, the changes with the Demon Hunter. Now, just as a heads up, the gameplay you guys are seeing is only on a T10 because I don't have efficient gear, because I didn't have a Wojanni Assaulter, and also the changes have not gone through. I'm just mousing over to show you guys. They have not gone through right now, but this will be a LON build, and also because it's not on PTR, we have to equip, of course, the LON build. I was also thinking about other things that you guys can maybe swap in and out as far as your passives. Broodling technically works with this, but I'm not sure if it's going to be something that will be viable. It is a little bit of a slower build because you are kind of stationary, so you can consider running a lot of other things as far as gems go. I will be making a more in-depth guide, so if you guys want to see that, hit the subscribe button, and probably by tomorrow when the PTR actually goes up, I will show you guys a more thorough build. I'm kind of just testing out stuff in here as far as the gameplay goes, but anyways, like I said, there are more changes, so let's go ahead and hop right into that. So I made a dedicated video going over all the patch notes for Season 17. If you guys want to check that out, I'll have a link down below in the pinned comment, but we're really here to go over the new updates for Season 17 with, of course, the LON build in this video. So basically, to sum it up over here, everything that is in red is the new updates that they have recently updated today. So first off, Torment 14, 15, and 16 have been added into the game, but they have recently adjusted them to better match Greater Rift 65, 70, and 75 respectively, and they also made it so the rewards for Infernal Machines, Organs, and Greater Rift keys have been improved. Before, if you went into a T16 and you were doing like the Organ drops, they wouldn't drop additional ones. That has been recently changed. And in addition to that, basically Torment 14, 15, and 16 are going to be easier, that the enemies used to actually deal more damage, but they've adjusted that. And then in addition to that, there's some stuff for like achievements. I'm not going to really go over that. But basically, with the Ancient Vault, some achievements weren't working properly. But as far as new changes, so the Crusader got a nerf over here. It was actually one of the best builds. So basically, instead of it being 75 to 100% damage for the Khan's item with Blessed Shield, instead of it being 75 to 100%, it is now 30 to 35% for 3 seconds. It's still better than what it is on live right now, which is 15 to 20%, but overall a nerf to Crusader. Also, the Wizard with the Chantodo set also got a nerf. If you guys want to see gameplay of that, I'll also have that in the pinned comment section. But basically, Wave of Destruction is changed a little bit, so they've nerfed the Wave of Destruction ticks now scale with attack speed. They removed that, but now instead they've made it so Wave of Destruction damage now scales with attack speed. So I'm not sure if I would consider this a buff or a nerf. It might just be something neutral. It could be due to the way that the waves were flashing way too fast for visuals. I think that that might be why they decided to change it in a sense. Again, I'm not sure if this is going to be a buff or a nerf. I'll let you guys know if I see a huge difference. But in addition to that, the Dagger of Darts now works properly. This is something that they'll mention later, but basically your poison darts and your fetish's poison darts now pierce and deal additional damage. This was not working properly, and it now does work properly. And then there's a huge buff to the Necromancer with the Grace of Anarius 6-piece bonus. So now Bone Armor activates a Swirling Tornado. It deals a bunch of damage, and then on top of that, whenever they take damage from that, they're going to take additional damage. And that additional damage used to be 3,750%, and now it's just 10,000, so it's equivalent to LON, which is kind of like a you do whatever you want kind of a build. So this is going to be pretty cool, especially since like that's the set going into the next season. I think this is a pretty good starter set, that's for sure. You definitely want to be on the lookout for the Swamp Larders. Pretty much every build that's going to be LON is going to require that, and that's going to require you to roll a Witch Doctor in the first place. But anyways, in addition to that, we already went over the Demon Hunter changes, which is the first thing that I did go over because this is what most people wanted to see in the first place anyways, because, well, that's the biggest change here on the latest patch that just got announced over on the blog site, which I'll link down below if you guys want to read yourself. Now, in addition to that, there's a few other changes here. These are mostly just bug fixes, so the Necromancer Simulacrums now benefit from the Trag'Oul's Avatar 6-piece bonus. And in addition to that, they changed the Reaper Wraps and Shadow's Mantle. They have been properly reverted. It was basically an integer change. And then this was just something that I mentioned earlier, which was like you couldn't get one of the season objective if you went into an Ancient Vault because it was technically a different area. So the achievement wasn't working properly. And then in addition to that, I mentioned they fixed the Dagger of Darts because it wasn't working properly. And then this is another thing that will be a buff to the Necromancer. So they fixed an issue where Blood Siphon may produce Blood Novas that dealt no damage when caused by Iron Rose, which is something that also got buffed. And then there's just a small little section of bug fixes. And if you guys want to read that, feel free to go ahead and do so. The PTR should be coming out, I want to say tomorrow. Like I said, if you guys want to see gameplay of any of the new stuff, specifically, I think the Wizard will be something that will be interesting to test out to see if it's actually nerfed, because it was the best build for Wizard. Is it still the best build? I don't know. Like I said, because we can't test it out yet, which will be tomorrow. If you guys hit the subscribe button, I'll update you guys if that actually makes a change, because it might just be kind of the same. But the Necromancer got a huge buff because the Grace of Anarius is already a set that lets you kind of play how you want to, which is kind of how the LON build works. But now we have a new build with Demon Hunter, so that's pretty cool. So I'm excited to mess around and see what the new Demon Hunter build can do as far as pushing the Greater Rifts. It might be one of the new best builds, especially going into Season 17. It's kind of nice that we have another build for Demon Hunter. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new here and want to see any of the new stuff when it goes live, hopefully by tomorrow, I'll get you guys gameplay of it very soon. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. And I'm signing out.